Check, check, check. It's a beautiful day. Welcome back to the Burnell Washburn podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new, welcome to the community. Shout out to the Gratitude Gang, all the Patreon supporters. You guys are just warming my heart so much. Shout out to everyone sharing it, everyone sending me DMs. This thing continues to grow every single month. It's growing in terms of numbers, it's growing in terms of finance, and most importantly, it's growing in terms of impact. I'm getting more and more messages from people really appreciating the vibes that we're spreading and saying that it's helping their life or helping their, sister's life or their grandma's life, or, it's like, it's so beautiful. That's really why I started this thing. So thank you guys. Please keep the messages, the DMs, keep the DMs sliding in, and keep spreading the word about this thing so we can help more people. It really means a lot to me. Before we jump into today's episode, I want to take a sip of my Rasa here. Rasa, the best. I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Rasa. It's an adaptogenic coffee alternative drink that's basically just a bunch of adaptogens, herbs, mushrooms, and just super high vibe plant medicines from the earth that you can drink instead of coffee or with your coffee, like I do sometimes. And it just gives you this beautiful energy, nourishes your adrenals, gives you a lot more sustainable energy than coffee does. You don't crash, you don't get jittery, you don't get anxiety, you don't get short of breath. You just feel amazing. It's got like ashwagandha in there, so ashwagandha lowers your cortisol and reduces your stress. It's got shatavari, it's got burdock, it's got cinnamon, it's got chaga, like all sorts of just amazing things. So check it out at wearerasa.com. That's wearerasa.com, and you can use promo code Burnell, Burnell, as if you didn't know how to spell that by fucking following me online and seeing this podcast name. Wearerasa.com, use promo code Burnell to save 15% off your order, and you can keep using that code like every month if you're reordering it, I'm pretty sure. So, and it throws me a little kickback and pays for my Rasa supply, so that's what's up. But anyway, Rasa's just been making me feel really good. The more I drink it, adaptogens kind of take like a little while to build up in your body, so after like the first few weeks of drinking it, you just start feeling like you have more energy, less stress, you feel more balanced, and it's really good if you're getting off caffeine or just checking your relationship with caffeine, so definitely check it out. And shout out to all the Patreon supporters. You can, if you end up feeling like you're getting a lot of value from this podcast or from my music or from anything I do, you can support patreon.com/Burnell Washburn. You can throw $5 a month, $20 a month, whatever. If you feel called in your heart to do that. I'm never expecting it. I'm going to keep making these podcasts, and I'm just super grateful for anyone that does support in any type of way. Never am I expecting it or anything like that, but I'm just insanely grateful for everyone that checks out the Patreon and pledges any amount, even if it's just for 1 month or 2 months. And it keeps growing every month. So thank you guys. I just feel blessed. I've been living the dream, and it's cool to go from an idea in your head to something being your daily life, your reality. That's kind of been one of the most addicting things in my human experience, is just my ability, my power to take something that I want to do and then just taking action on it, not knowing how to do it, not knowing if it's going to work, and just going for it and then having it come into fruition and blossom. It's so cool. It's kind of like when you grow a garden and, you're eating a pepper that you grew, and you're like, yo, this was originally just a seed. I put it in this dirt. I gave it the water and the sunlight and loved it as best as I could. And you didn't know for sure if it was going to grow or not, or what it was going to turn into, but you have faith. And then when you're eating it, you're like, damn, this is cool. Wow. It's very empowering. And that's just really it's to me, we're all like walking embodiments of the divine creator, of God, of the universe, whatever you want to call it. So like, I don't know, that's what God does, is create stuff. So like, it just feels good to create stuff and take stuff from being an idea or being just a feeling that's not really, physical yet, and turn it into an actual thing. So that's one thing that I like to do, is help people do that and teach about manifestation and teach about how to build and create your dream life. So for anyone that does support my Patreon page, I have like a pretty cool little workbook that I'll give you. Even if you just like really want the workbook, just hit me up. I'll give it to you. You don't really have to support the Patreon, but it's definitely appreciated. But even if you just want to like sign up for my email list or something, or share an episode, like I'll send you this little workbook that helps you gain some clarity on your dream life. It's just like a bunch of questions that you can go through in detail and ask yourself, ask your higher self, and tap into your vision. Because the more clarity you have on where you're trying to go and what your dream life really looks like, the more you're going to end up taking the right actions to get there. It's like if you got a GPS, you got to tell it like where you're at and where you're trying to go in order for it to help you get anywhere. Like otherwise it's just like a map of possibilities. But when you know like, hey, I'm currently in Salt Lake and I'm trying to be in Los Angeles, I can put in that destination and have that clarity of where to go and which roads to take. So hit me up if you want that workbook. I'll send it to you, and I definitely think it'll help you out. So let's jump into today's episode. Today, the topics that we will be covering include raising your vibration, radical detachment, radical acceptance, and whatever else I end up talking about. My intention for this episode is just to help you raise your vibration and share some ideas that will help you feel better and give you some new things to take action on. So by the end of this episode, you should have a handful of things, at the very minimum, at least one new thing that you're going to put into action that's going to be helping you tap into a higher quality of life, help you become healthier, happier, and more fulfilled. So I kind of like, as I was thinking about what to talk about in this episode, I just started like brainstorming, just writing whatever came to my dome. And like, I ended up writing this little bullet point list of like 52 items that are like ways to raise your vibration, basically. So I'm just going to run through them really quick. I'm not going to spend crazy detail on each of them because that would be like 50 episodes. I could do like a whole episode on each of these things. But these are the habits, the routines, the mindsets, the skills, the things that really just help me access a new level of life. Where I used to be depressed, I used to be unhealthy, I used to be angry, I used to have, and not like all the time, but like I used to have a lot lower quality emotions more often than I do now. And now I just feel happier than I've ever felt. I feel healthier. I look healthier. I'm stronger. Like everything in my life is better. I have better relationships. My living environment is better. Just everything is better since I started doing these things. So I'm just going to run through this list real quick. So the first one is move your body every day. Walking, exercising, shaking, qigong, dancing, hiking, swimming, just moving your body is essential to being on a high vibration and feeling good. Like, especially if you work on a computer, a desk job, you just really need to get out and move more. All of us do. And you don't need to do some crazy workouts in the gym. Like, just dance if you like dancing. Shake your body out. Go on little walks. Go on some hikes, Like, and you don't need to go on people think of hiking as you got to go on this like 8-hour, like crazy steep, gnarly thing. It's like, no, just go out. Just pull your car up into some nature spot and walk around for a minute. Like, that's all. Second thing is cold exposure. Cold exposure is a game change. I've been starting every morning with ice baths lately because cold showers weren't doing it for me anymore. Like, I got so used to them because your body adapts to things so quickly that, like, cold showers aren't really, like, as crazy for me anymore. But cold exposure, I've been dipping into the ice-cold snow melt streams and rivers and oceans that it's just, oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how amazing cold exposure is for your health, for your mind, your body, and soul. Like, it trains you to get good at doing what's good for you, and it trains your whole nervous system to be the type of person that does what's good for you rather than what's easy and convenient and comfortable. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like it's so important. So it's not just like the health benefits of like, yeah, boost your immune system and helps your brain and your heart and your skin and your hair and your nails, and like all that stuff is obviously very valuable. Massively reduces inflammation, helps your recovery, all sorts of stuff. But the biggest benefit to cold exposure is mindset, and just you're just rewiring your identity to be a more badass person. So that's cold exposure is a game changer. I talk about it a lot. I'll keep talking about it because it's next level. The more often you can get in cold water, especially natural water is amazing. Like if you can get in rivers, streams, lakes and stuff like that, you're gonna just feel better on all levels. Like I take homies up to the mountains and have them dip in the stream, and just like their whole energy's different after. They're just happier, healthier. They're more vibrant. They're more alive. They love themselves more. They want to give love more. They want to just be a better version of themselves. So cold exposure is a game changer. Next thing is barefoot grounding. I do this every single morning, regardless of the weather. It reduces inflammation. It grounds you, connects you to the earth. Helps with everything. It rebalances your hormones. It just your whole chemistry in your body. So get your bare feet on the earth as often as possible every day. You will love yourself for it. It's one of the things that's really benefited my life in big time. Those negative ions from the earth, it's so good for you. You can look up science on all these things. All these things I'm talking about, they're not just random hippy dippy things that Burnell does. This is pure science studied by, I literally listen to so many hours a day of podcasts and videos on YouTube, and I've read hundreds of books from all the top scientists in the world, the top experts in their fields. So all this stuff is stuff I heard from them, from really, really smart people that are just way light years beyond what they're just crazy smart people, and they've studied this stuff, and they have a lot of science to back it up. And I don't personally really love talking about all the science side of things. Like I just like talking about my own experience of it, because like if you want to know the science of anything, you can Google any of these things that I'm talking about, and it's just so easy to read up on all the science. So I want you to know these aren't just like random hippy dippy things. Like maybe some of them are, but like the vast majority of everything I talk about has been proven in science, and studied through clinical trials and implemented by the greatest people in the world who just embody excellence. So that's where I'm getting all this information from. Next thing is morning sun exposure. Getting sunlight on your skin for like 12 minutes within the first 30 minutes of your day has profound effects on your circadian rhythm and your overall happiness. It's proven to it really resets it tells your body, hey, we're in sunlight now, it's time to wake up. It sets your whole body up for a better day, and it's been proven and time again to help people with depression and anxiety. So get that morning sun exposure. You will sleep so much better every night. And I don't use an alarm, haven't used an alarm in years. I wake up around the same time every day, go to bed around the same time. I just have my circadian rhythms on point because I get this morning sun exposure. And it's just a good vibe to be outside in the morning. Just right when you get outside, it's like one of the first things I do within the first 5-10 minutes. I'm outside in the sun. Next thing that's helped my life immensely is putting my phone on Do Not Disturb and turning off all notifications. My phone's been on Do Not Disturb for years, rarely comes off. And I don't have notifications on anything because I'm trying to I'm meditating, I'm exercising, I'm recording songs, I'm writing songs, I'm on coaching calls. I'm focused on work. I'm recording podcasts. I can't just have notifications going off 24/7, and neither can you if you want your sanity. Like, we underestimate these double-edged swords that we're holding called smartphones and laptops. They're so powerful, they're so beautiful, but they're also so dangerous and so deadly. So we need to check ourselves and build a balance. You don't need to reply to everyone immediately. I don't know why more people don't have boundaries with their phone. Well, I know why, because we weren't taught. We were just given this technology, just here, iPhone, everyone gets a phone out of nowhere. Like, I grew up without phone until I was, in high school, and then, I didn't have a smartphone until I was, 19, 20, so, I kind of remember what it was like. And it's just like, yo, we're not designed to just have our phones going off 24/7 and constantly be stopping whatever we're doing to respond to people. I talk about that. I have an episode about building a healthy relationship with social media. If you haven't listened to that one, check it out. I don't want to go into too much detail, but it's so important to turn your phone on Do Not Disturb and turn off all notifications. Do it on your time. Check yourself. Have intention when you're using your phone. Why is your phone in your hand? It's just because it's designed to be addictive and you're unaware, you don't even realize you're a complete addict to it? Or do you have a specific intention? Like, I would really like to spread this certain message on Instagram right now. I'm going to get on there and post this thing. Like, there's a difference. Or I really want to talk to this homie or check in, like, versus mindlessly scrolling. So use it with intention, put Do Not Disturb on, turn off all notifications, and ideally delete all the social media apps off your phone like pretty regularly, and just balance yourself out and keep continuously checking yourself. I'm not perfect. I'm working on boundaries, and I'm continuously checking my own relationship, and I advise all of us to do the same. Next thing, this is one of the most important things of your entire life, is eating healthy, organic food from the earth. Health is wealth. Nothing else matters if you're unhealthy. You could have all the money in the world, all the dopest relationships in the world, but you can't enjoy any of that shit if you're unhealthy. You know what I mean? Like, if you're laying on the nicest beach, but you can't breathe, or your just stomach is killing you, or you got this gnarly headache, it's just like, that's not fun. If you can't go walk up a mountain and enjoy the most beautiful scenery in the world, you're selling yourself short, and you're downplaying your entire human existence. Your entire human experience you're trading the blessings of life for like 5 seconds of mouth pleasure and just repeating old patterns if you continue to eat poorly. So I'm not judging anyone. This is coming from a place of love. I want you to enjoy this beautiful planet with me for as long as possible and to the highest quality possible. So minimize processed foods. Choose healthier versions of snacks and treats that you like. Learn as much as you can about health and nutrition. Subscribe to podcasts and YouTube videos. Hang out with healthy people. Get to know your body. Become intuitive. See what works for you. Become mindful when you eat. How do you feel when you eat certain things versus when you eat other things? I used to not even pay attention to any of that stuff. I just ate whatever I wanted until I was like 24. I didn't even think about it. And then that's why I started feeling like crap, and I didn't look as good, and I didn't love myself as much, and so I started switching that around, and it's a never-ending journey. It's not like you just become perfect at it. It's all about every day trying to improve your health so you can live a better quality of life. So organic really matters. Pesticides, people say there's a lot of pesticides in organic stuff too, because there's organicides, but like, you can taste the difference, you can feel the difference, and if you can get homegrown, quality, healthy food from people you love or trust, people in your community, that's even better. So, but it's not about being perfect. It's about incremental changes, doing a little better than you did yesterday, eating slightly healthier than you did last month. Just slowly step it up, and over the course of the last 4 to 5 years, I have just completely transformed my diet and my relationship with food, and I feel amazing. Next thing is hang out with people you want to be like. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, including the people you're following online. Don't follow unfriend, unfollow, unsubscribe to anyone that's not lifting you up. I accept random friend requests all the time, and then I have to just like delete them because I'm like, oh, this person's negative, or this person's, I don't really like what I'm seeing, and it's like, cool, peace. So there's 8 billion people on this world. We got no reason to hang out with anyone that's not lifting us up or inspiring us or teaching us or helping us grow. And we can grow a lot from all types of people, but it's hang out with people you want to be like, because you'll embody their habits, you'll embody their way of thinking. Their energy will just literally come to you through like osmosis, and that's actually sounds like some hippie shit, but it's actually real science. It's called mirrored neurons. It's mirrored neurons are basically, it's how like a cheetah learns how to hunt just by watching its mom. The first few cheetah hunts, the kids just sit there in the brush and they watch their mom hunt, and then they know how to hunt because they see their mom doing it. They literally have mirrored neurons. You can look this up. Humans have this too, where we just we start to think like, act like, talk like the people that we surround ourselves with. And that includes the podcasts we listen to. And so just by listening to this podcast, you're becoming more like Burnell Washburn. Like it's inevitable. You can't help it. And so if you like the way Burnell Washburn's living, listen to Burnell Washburn podcast more. If you like my vibes and the love that I'm spreading and just my personality, that like, cool, listen to this. If you want to be more like me, listen to this more often. And that goes with everything in life. Just hang out with more people that you like, that you want, that you admire and you respect, and distance yourself from people that you don't want to be like. If they have poor habits, if they are constantly doing things that are low vibe, maybe you're trying not to smoke so much, so stop hanging out with your people that smoke all the day, that are chain smoking. Find other homies that don't smoke and hang out with them. If you're trying to eat healthier, hang out with people that eat healthier. If you're trying to be more confident, hang out with people that are confident. Like, I got so much better at skateboarding when I hung out with pro skateboarders versus when I was like flexing my ego, being the best skater in the room, you know what I mean? Or the best skater at the park. Like, get around people that are better than you and you'll rise up. And no one's better than each other. You don't understand what I mean. Like, just that have like different strengths and stuff that you admire and that want to embody. You know what I'm talking about. Next thing is reading self-development books. That's obvious. Just read more books. Physically reading is amazing. I'm going to start going through these a little faster because I feel like I've been giving too much explanation on a lot of these, and this podcast will take forever. So making nature time a priority. Get outside in nature. We were not meant to be in cities. We're not meant to be wearing shoes. We're not meant to be in all this stuff. We think we are, but no, we're animals. We're meant to be in nature, yo. Like, just go forest bathe, get out and play in the forest and the beaches, and get outside more often. I could do 100 episodes on just that alone and the science behind how that makes you healthier and happier. If you're suffering from anxiety or depression, it turns out you just actually needed to go camping and shit. You got to ask better questions. That's the next thing, is the quality of your life is the quality of your questions. Ask better questions. It's so important. If you ask disempowering questions, your mind can't help but give you disempowering answers. You say, why does this always happen to me? Or how come this always, you're setting yourself up for a disempowering answer. If I say, why does money have to be so stressful? That's such a disempowering question versus, what would be some aligned ways to bring in some extra cash flow? Boom, my mind's going to come up with a whole different answer, and it might be the same problem in your head, but you ask a better question, you got a better answer, and you're going to spiral up instead of spiral down. Quality of your life is the quality of your questions. Next thing that's tapped me into a higher vibration is crystals. You can look up the frequencies on crystals. They actually carry energy. Everything's energy. So beautiful crystals carry this cool, beautiful energy. They're rare, they're beautiful, they're awesome. They raise your vibe. Essential oils raise your vibe. You can look up the actual frequency scales on those too, and they can boost your health in a lot of ways. I love using essential oils. It's just such a nice way to start your day and end your day, and just boost your vibration and boost your energy up throughout the day. Essential oils are awesome. Candles, I love having candles around. I like lighting them with specific intentions. Candles just seem to really raise the vibe in my house, and there's the principles of feng shui talk about the energy of fire being very important in your house. Fill your house with plants. Surround yourself with plant homies. The more plants you put in your house, the higher the vibrations are going to be, the better the oxygen and the air is going to be. You're going to feel better. You're going to like your house more. You're going to like your room more. When you come into your space, you're just going to feel more alive and more connected and more blessed. And plants are living beings that live in your house with you, and you can share love with them. So fill your house with some plant homies. Next thing is meditation. I have a whole episode on that. I could talk about meditation for the rest of my life, and I probably will. It's the best gift I've ever given myself. Teaching myself how to meditate is just the most profound thing I've ever done to improve my life. So meditate every single day. You have no excuses. I don't care how hard you think meditation is. Get that growth mindset and learn how to meditate, damn it. I'm going to be hard on you this time because I'm not letting you off the hook saying, Oh, I would meditate, but I'm busy. No, you're not. That if you think you're busy, you need meditation more than anyone. You'll be less busy once you start meditating. You'll get more done in less time. If you think that you can't meditate because your mind's too busy, you also need meditation more than anyone. So you owe it to yourself and everyone you love to learn how. Doesn't matter if it takes you the next 20 years to learn how. Even if you just start trying 1 minute a day, get on that and step your game up. That's the best thing you can ever do for yourself. Meditation is practiced by virtually all the most successful people in the world. So, and there's no right or wrong way to meditate. There's lots of different styles of meditation. Just figure out ways that work for you and start practicing. Next thing, mindful eating, drinking, and consuming. Kind of already mentioned that, but like when you're eating anything, drinking anything, or consuming anything, like a video or scrolling through social media or hanging out with someone, just be mindful. Mindfulness is a huge part of living a balanced, harmonious, beautiful life. The more mindful you have, the more intention you have behind what you're doing, the more things are going to go your way, the less pitfalls you're going to hit, the less you're going to slip into your old ways, into your negative patterns and negative programming, and the more you're just going to live a healthy, happy life. Just be mindful about what you're doing. Take a few extra seconds to think about why you're doing what you're doing and if you really want to be doing it or how you want to be doing it, and set more intentions. Next thing that's helped raise my vibration is coloring, drawing, painting, and making art just for fun, like with no desired outcome. And I started doing that when I had my daughter. I've always been doing art. Like obviously I'm a musician and a graphic designer, and like I've been doing art for lots of years. But I've always had like some type of like, not always, but a lot of times there's some type of like motive behind it. Like I'm going to release this, so I want to make it good or whatever. But I started coloring and drawing and doodling with my daughter just for fun, just to bond with her and just to hang out and color for fun. And I was like, wow, this really like lowers, it like reduces anxiety. It can put you in the moment. It can just slow you down and mellow you out and raise your vibration. And it's just fun. And it's like, when you're a little, I watch what little kids do. I watch people that are on a naturally high vibration, whether it's a little kid or a super successful person. I watch what they do and I embody their behavior so much. And I just see like, I listen to what they say, but more so watch what they do. And I try to do that. And I'm like, okay. Little kids are always just doing little arts and crafts projects for fun. And they're happy as shit. And they got all this energy and they feel great. Like, and they're just, you know, like they just like coloring and doodling and drawing and gluing stuff together and putting glitter on stuff and whatever. And it's like, all right, I'm going to do that too. And it's definitely raised my vibration. Next thing is sound healing. There's so much science on this. I listen to sound healing frequencies almost 24/7 in my house. They're just always playing different solfeggio frequencies, different binaural beats, isochronic tones, Tibetan healing bowls, flutes, guitars, just music in general it's a vibe, you know what I'm saying? And like it can really help you on all areas of your life, mind, body, and soul. Like yesterday I was in the back of an Uber and I was feeling really anxious for some reason. I think it might have been because of the way this dude was driving. He was driving all frantically, and like I was like on my way to parent teacher conference and I was like feeling like all short of breath, and it was weird. Put on some Rife frequencies, some sound healing frequencies on YouTube. Boom, within 5 minutes, I was deep breathing, feeling great. And yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've had a headache or a stomach ache or something cured, or like super inflammation or pain cured by sound healing, or been able to fall asleep really fast, or to just really set the vibes off in my house in the morning, every morning. That's one of the first things I do is put on awesome sound healing frequencies, and I just kind of blast them through my house, and got nature sounds in the background playing. So like I hear like birds chirping and a river flowing and a bunch of like beautiful, 432 hertz music or some 528 hertz music. There's all sorts of different frequencies that are beneficial for different parts of your mind, body, and soul. But it's sound healing's the truth. That's why it's becoming more popular, and there's a lot of science on it. You can heal your body. You can step your whole vibe up through sound healing. So I would definitely recommend tapping into that. YouTube's my favorite, especially if you have YouTube Premium, so you don't have any ads or anything interrupting it, and so you can play sound healing frequencies without, like, while you're using other apps and stuff, without it stopping and pausing your video. Again, I should be a damn affiliate for YouTube Premium because I love it so much. Next thing, I already kind of mentioned this, is just like listening to high vibrational podcasts and YouTube channels, but like being really careful about what you consume. The other day, I watched like one or two. I was randomly just got in this like gossip thing where I was watching some random YouTube video where this guy was like, it was like, so such and such producer exposed. And it was basically exposing all these tweets and all these lies and all these things that this like music producer had done. And I was like, I don't know why I got sucked into it, because humans just like drama, I guess. But like, I never watched that kind of bullshit. It's such a low vibe. But I somehow got sucked into it, and I noticed my YouTube algorithm like started showing me all this other stuff like it. Like I got on YouTube the next day, and there was all these like other people that were exposed, and all these things about industry plants, and like how this rapper did that, and how this person fucking, I don't know, just all this low vibe negative content we don't even need to go into. And I was just like, yo, just because I watched like one or two videos that were similar to that, now YouTube and Instagram, Facebook thinks that I want to see all that kind of shit and starts showing me more of that, because the algorithms are programmed to show you whatever. And it's the same thing as your reticular activating system inside your brain. Your RAS is programmed to scan the world for whatever you're focused on, whatever you've told it is important. So if if you just got a new red Suzuki or something, no one has a Suzuki. You got a new red Honda, then like you see red Hondas everywhere. I don't know. Like it's a reticular activating system. We've talked about that a lot on this podcast. Algorithms the same way. It's just like going to show you more of whatever you're looking at. So you got to be careful of what kind of content you consume, or else you're going to just be more inundated with that type of material, with that kind of a vibration. And like you watch one celebrity gossip video or one video about Trump, then it's going to start showing you all this stuff about Trump. Like I've never listened to Trump's speech, and people might be like, oh, whoa, you're not informed. You're like, no, I've known Trump was a fucking buffoon since I was a little kid. Did you guys ever see that show, The Apprentice or whatever I think it was? Like obviously he was a douche, you know what I mean? Like I even when I knew he was this big businessman, little kid, I still just like, all right, I never cared for him in the first place. So when he started running for president, I never paid attention to anything he said, never watched a single video, never watched any of these videos of people like talking all about how shitty he is. Like all you're doing is pointing, blaming, and complaining. Pointing fingers, blaming, complaining are such low vibrations. Rise up above that shit. Like talk about the solutions, talk about, I don't mind if you brush over the problem for like 2 seconds, but we've all been aware of the problems. So like, let's cut to the chase and get to the solution, instead of spending all this energy on what the problem is and who's to blame for the problem, and why it sucks so bad that the problem is here, and this problem is getting worse, and this problem. It's like, no. Let's rise up above that. Let's get to the solution. What are we going to do about this? I've known that the world has all these flaws, and the flaws haven't changed since the beginning of time. I've known that since I was a little kid. Like the same shit we're dealing with now is like mostly the same shit that we were dealing with hundreds of years ago. And so I'm going to live my life in a way to try to bring solutions, rather than spending all my energy pointing on the problem. And arguably I'm pointing on the problem right now just by talking about this. See how easy it is to do that. So you just got to be careful. Like, watching your shit. Like all of us need to just check ourselves. Okay, I'm focused on the problem too. Like too much right now. I know what the problem is, so let me focus on what the solution and the uniting and the loving and all the positive things that we can do and what's in our power, rather than all this energy on who's to blame and all that shit. Because that's just low. Next thing after is giving gifts, tipping fat, donating money, and overall just looking for ways to add value to people. I know that was I feel like that was a weird transition. We were just like on one vibe and we just like switch hella quick. But this is just how my brain works, I guess. I just wrote this list like super fast of all these things that like raise my vibe. Giving gifts is it's a beautiful energy. You're in an energy of abundance. You're in an energy of love. You're in an energy of just adding value. And tipping fat. So whenever you go to a restaurant or you take an Uber or anything like that, try to donate, try to tip a little bit higher than you normally would. But not because you're trying to get something back, but just because you have the opportunity to spread love. You have the opportunity to make someone else's experience a little better. And anytime you have the opportunity to make someone else's experience of life better, then do it. Because we're all one, so you're just adding to the good and you're giving to yourself at the same time, and it's just a blessing for everyone. So I'm trying to get better at this. Like, I've always had, like, I grew up with a scarcity mindset, so, like, tipping well, and I was always tipping well and, like, stuff like that, but, like, I don't know, like, I wasn't trying, like, super far out of my way to give gifts. Like, someone's birthday would come up and I would be, like, stressed out, like, that I had to give them something, rather than excited that I have this, oh, so-and-so's birthday giving up, okay, let me try to get some extra money so I can, like, get them something super nice because I love them. And it doesn't have to be money or gifts or whatever, but I love just trying to find ways, even if it's just sending a note or giving people a compliment. You can pay people a compliment and that can mean way more than money sometimes. So, like, I've been trying to find ways to add value in every interaction I have and just trying to be more on the frequency of giving. One of my daily mantras is that I say this right when I wake up. I say this when I'm outside doing my Qigong energy practice and my barefoot grounding outside in the morning in the sunlight. And I'm like, yo, I'm focused on my blessings and who I can serve. I focus on my blessings and who I can serve. And I just love that energy of being in a frequency of giving. Next one on the list is daily gratitude journal. You guys know how important gratitude is. Lots of science on that, how it benefits your brain and just rewires your whole nervous system to scan the world for what's going well in your life and what you appreciate. And I've also been writing these lists of just things that are going well. It's like different than a gratitude list, but kind of the same, where I write things that are going well. Anything that I'm stoked on, like, I'm healthy right now. I've been good with my good habits lately. My house is clean. I just got this, like, things that are going well, making these little lists, reminding myself of how blessed I am and how beautiful my experience really is, and it just trains me to focus more on that. And, it's like my mental algorithm scanning the world for more blessings now, because I'm taking that time to acknowledge it, and I'm appreciating it. Whatever you appreciate. So you're going to have more of whatever you're focusing on. You're focusing on things you're grateful for, then you're going to have more things to be grateful for. It's just how this shit works. Next thing is affirmations and incantations. Affirmations are like the I am, I am blessed, I am abundant, I am inspired, I am inspiring. But I do that with incantations, where I'm moving my body physically, jumping up and down, shaking my body out, exercising. I'm bringing my entire being into it rather than just saying it intellectually. I'm feeling it emotionally, and I'm feeling it in my body, and I'm just, like, really embodying it. And so I'm not just saying, like, I am strong. I'm feeling strong as I say that. I'm not just saying I am healthy. I'm really just feeling the energy of health and embodying it and just moving my body in a way that a healthy person would. And, like, yeah. So incantations are next level affirmations. It's just taking your affirmations and putting some physical movement, and, especially if you jump into some cold water and do that, it really starts to embody, because your tissues store your issues and your cells hold memory. So you can really rewire and wire these positive phrases into your whole body. I've been writing things, lists of things that are going well, and I've also been writing lists of things that I'm excited about. And a new thing that I just started doing, thanks to this book that I read, that it's called The Illusion of Money. I'm going to do a book review on it soon. You write down a list of, like, I write down quantum possibilities, and I write down a list of all these things that could potentially happen that would be awesome in the next 24 hours or the next week or the next year or the next 10 years. It doesn't matter. You can pick a time, but I'll write down, like, quantum possibilities, things that could happen. I'm not saying I'm not attached to them. That's part of what I want to talk about today, is radical detachment, just not being detached to anything, not being attached to anything. Nothing's permanent. So I'm just like, here's things that would be cool, but I'm not going to be tripping if it doesn't happen. This is just, oh, you know what? I could sell a bunch of beats. I could check my email and have the most beat sales I've ever had in a day. I could get booked on the biggest show of my life. I could get asked to be interviewed on this huge podcast. I could drop a piece of content that goes viral. I could have the most profoundly epic meditation of my life. I could meet the love of my life randomly at the supermarket or at this event this weekend. Or, I just write down all these things that could happen, and it gets my brain going excited of like, holy shit, all these things, like technically they're all possible. I'm not saying they are going to happen or that I need them to happen or that, it's going to suck if they don't happen. Like, I'm not attached to them. They're just like, whoa, I could receive a massive influx of money randomly. I could receive some huge unexpected check in the mail. I'm not, it's just like, it's different than like trying super hard to frantically manifest. You're just unattached. Like, this would be cool if, and you don't really even like think about whether it's going to happen or not. You're just like, that could happen. And it kind of gets you excited and makes you feel good in the moment. It puts you on a higher vibe. And then you'll be shocked at how many of them actually happen. You're like, whoa, I just wrote down like this, potentially this could happen. And then you go wake up the next morning and like, holy shit, it did happen. You're like, wow, okay, that's pretty awesome. So write down these lists of things, quantum possibilities, because anything is possible. Your life can change in a day. Like, we're never more than like one decision away or one moment away from like just a whole different life. So that's beautiful. Let's see. I'm just going to laser through the rest of these. Spending more time alone has raised my vibration, getting to know myself, cultivating self-love, and just being okay with being alone. I love it. Random acts of kindness, that kind of goes along with the giving thing, but just like random acts of kindness and service is such a beautiful frequency. What can you do for someone else? I love it. And the more you get beyond yourself, the more we get out of our own head and shine that light on who we can serve, the better our life becomes. And the whole universe conspires to help us when we're in that frequency. Scripting my dreams into existence. I have a bunch of YouTube videos about scripting where it's just write your ideal life as if it already happened. Like like if I want to go to Bali on a dream vacation, I would write down like, today is my second day waking up in Bali, and I'm so grateful that I manifested this vision, and it's even better than I thought it was going to be. The weather right now is beautiful. I just woke up to like fresh fruit and produce that grew on this property, and it's the most perfect temperature. I had the most beautiful meditation, and and I was with this person, that person. We did, like, you can write down as much detail as you want. The key is just to feel the emotion. As you're writing it, you're tapping into that emotion, and then you're attracting more of that same frequency by feeling it. And it's crazy how much of stuff I've scripted that's come into fruition and came true, like into my reality, like pretty fast too. I kind of already mentioned this, but paying attention to little details from people you admire. What they wear, where they shop, what kind of toothpaste do they use, what kind of hand soap do they use, how do they spend money, how do they talk, how do they walk, how do they dress, what kind of comforter do they have on their bed, what kind of decorations are in their house. Like, I pay attention to everything. If someone's living a lifestyle that I admire, that I respect, that I want to be like, I notice all these little things. These are all making up their vibration, and I start to like embody that. Like, okay, all these people I look up to are using natural cleaning supplies, and like they would never spray some like 409 or some like, I don't know, like random super toxic chemical in their house to clean anything. They just wouldn't do that. Like the people that I look up to on the super health level, and the super spiritually connected level, and the environmentally friendly level, those people are using these like natural cleaning supplies. So I started using natural cleaning supplies over the last year or two. Same with like toothpaste. I don't use, Crest or Scope or anything, because I notice all the high vibe people I look up to, like all my mentors, all the health experts. Like, if I went into someone's house and they had like a way nice house, and I was like, damn, I want to live in this type of house, and this person just seems really happy and really healthy and really connected, and I like this person's lifestyle, I go in their bathroom and notice, oh, they're using like Dr. Bronner's natural soap or something in their shower instead of like just some Dove, whatever. I don't know. So then I would get that. And I'm not saying everyone is on this level, but I'm just saying like you notice little random details about people, about what they would purchase, what they would, how they vote with their dollar, what they would spend their money on, and like what they would put on their body or put in their house. And you start to notice like that's all part of their frequency. You start doing the same and you elevate to their vibe too. Another thing is I've been spending more time outdoors regardless of the weather. If it's raining, snowing, I used to like always stay inside if it wasn't nice weather, but now I've been going out in all types of weather and it's really been raising my vibrations. So get out there and dance in the rain, go on the snowy, cold hikes. Like, dude, it feels good to just get outside regardless. And it makes you stronger if you have to endure tough conditions, if it's way too hot or way too cold or way too wet or way too humid or whatever. It makes you a stronger person dealing with it. Another thing that raised my vibe is blessing my water, blessing my food. I don't drink bottled water. I don't drink tap water unless I really have to. And I'm grateful for any type of water. I know that sounds kind of bougie, but it's like I'm fortunate enough, and I'm pretty sure everyone in this that's fortunate enough to have an iPhone listening to this podcast or whatever can afford to drink some higher quality water, and we're so blessed. And you could probably also afford to drink high quality water and donate to people that can't, which is what I do. And I stopped drinking bottled water because it's fucked up for the environment. I stopped drinking tap water because it calcifies your pineal gland and fucks up your health, and it's not good for you. You could spend money on Dasani, and it's just like you're just spending money to hurt the environment and your body. Or you could like go to the wellness center or go to like just at least get some healthier water from somewhere. There's all sorts of water stores and stuff you can get healthier water from. And I went from buying cases and cases of all this like bottled water to like getting way higher quality water for way cheaper. And just by filling up my 5-gallon jug. Yeah, it's a little extra effort to like bring my 5-gallon jug, but I've been filling that up for the last year or two without even having a car. So, you can make it work. And I'm just blessed. I say thank you for it. I speak kind words. You can look up, I think it's Dr. Emoto did the water crystal studies. You can just look up, if you Google water crystal study or water molecule study, you'll see how the water molecules under a microscope look beautiful and symmetric and just divine and light when they're subjected to positive words and positive music versus they look all chaotic and brown and negative and gnarly when they're subjected to negative words. So you can check that out. And if we're 80% water in our bodies and blessing all that shit is going to make a massive difference on, how we talk to ourselves matters too, But decluttering, cleaning and staying organized is huge. I'm going to do a bunch of decluttering and cleaning today. I'm always decluttering and letting go of what no longer serves and reorganizing my house. Feng shuiing it, moving around the decor. It's really beneficial. Saging my spot, diffusing essential oils, burning Palo Santos, just cleansing the vibes and making my house and making my environment feel nice and look nice and smell nice and sound nice. It's beautiful. A decluttered environment is a decluttered mind, A clean environment is a clean mind. Another thing that is one of the most healing powers of the universe that I talk about a lot is the energy of forgiveness. I do these, like the 6-phase meditation really often, which includes forgiveness. And I'm just constantly trying to forgive myself and forgive others. Anytime I get upset with myself for anything or for anyone else for any reason, I try to just forgive and let go and just love and just accept everything for how it is. And just forgiveness, there's a lot of science on how that just it improves your health and your brain. And it's one of the strongest, most beautiful, highest vibrational energies on the planet. I swear to God, forgiveness is just key. Anytime you do something wrong or you slip up or you slip into your older ways, just forgive yourself. Stop beating yourself up. Forgive yourself. You're only human. Just take it one moment at a time. The past is the past. Forgive anyone for ever mistreating you in any type of way because they weren't coming from their higher selves. They were coming from ego. They were coming from lower selves, and they were doing the best they could in the moment, Even if it hurts you, it's like, just forgive them. Be the bigger person and choose to love them unconditionally like you would, like if a 3-year-old spills some juice or something like that, you're not going to freak out and hold a grudge for them. You're going to forgive them. They made a mistake. They got small hands. They're learning how to, they weren't meaning to spill it. They were trying their best not to spill it. It had happened sometimes. So we got to forgive ourselves and look at ourselves like little kids sometimes and just be a little bit more understanding and forgiving for everyone. Another thing that's really helped raise my vibe is just unleashing my inner child, having fun, being goofy, playful, silly, not taking everything too seriously, having little dance parties, making weird faces, and just playing and having a kid has really helped me with that. Another thing that's helping me raise my vibe a lot is trying new things that scare me, getting out of my comfort zone as often as possible every day. Whenever I get too mundane in my routine and I've just lived like the same life for several months, I'm not doing anything that really expands me. I start to feel depressed and down about myself. And so then all it takes for me to step out of that is to just try some new scary things and go somewhere new, try something new, try to learn a new skill, take a new class, anything that can just, if you haven't taken a cold shower before, maybe just doing that could be such a tiny little thing that could change your whole life around and pull you out of a funk and get you out of this depression or this anxiety and make you feel like you're at least on a path to progress and stepping your life up, because progress is just a huge part. It's one of the 3 keys to fulfillment: progress, growth, and contribution. Progress, connection, and contribution. So growing, having good relationships, and then giving back. Those are the 3 keys to fulfillment I always talk about. And just getting out of your comfort zone is going to help you feel like you're making progress and boost your confidence. And it's going to help. It's going to send new signals in your brain, and all sorts of new things are going to happen when you try new stuff. Another thing is hiring mentors and coaches and teachers who embody where you want to be in certain areas. I can't recommend how important. It's so important. Get a coach, get a mentor, and hire them if you can. You can listen to free content all you want, but you're going to get so much more benefit when you hire someone, because it's just, you have more skin in the game. You're more invested. They're more invested. You're going to know you want to get your money's worth, so you're going to listen and take the action and really implement it. So this can save you thousands and thousands or millions of dollars and countless hours of just trial and error and self-discovery. It's just get around people that have already done what you want to do, and you can learn so much faster. Another thing that's raised my vibe is heart hugs, eye gazing, massages, and physical touch. Obviously with consent, of course, only with consent. But physical touch is very important. We're humans, it's actually been proven that if a baby isn't touched within when they're first born, they actually die. So they need to be touched. We need physical touch, and eye gazing is beautiful if you have a partner or even just cool friends that are down with that. Eye gazing and heart hugs. I love it when a homie gives me a big heart hug and squeezes me for a little extra long and takes a few extra deep breaths. It's so healing. Another thing is saying no to anything that isn't a hell yes. If it's not a hell yes, then it's no. If it's not expansive, if it doesn't feel like a 10 out of 10, then I probably shouldn't do it. If I'm justifying or trying to, really make a case as to why I'm doing something, then it's probably not in my highest interest. I don't have to justify all the reasons of why I like my daughter. Well, she goes to school and and she gets a tax write-off or something like that, and so it's helpful to have her around. That's how we act with certain things in our life. But it's with the things that are fully aligned, that's a 10 out of 10. You don't have to justify that shit. You don't have to justify why you're with your partner. Oh, well, she's got health insurance or something like that. No. You just love them. You don't even have to have a reason. So if you have to justify something, then it's probably not a hell yes. And you got to say no to anything that's not the highest version of you, so you can make room and have space for that which is. Delaying gratification is huge. We got to just let go of that instant pleasure and go with delayed gratification. What's going to be most beneficial to our life long term versus what's just going to be fun and easy and comforting right now. This goes along with what I said about eating healthy and taking the cold showers. It's like, delay the gratification. Sure, you could have the candy bar now or something like that, but isn't it going to feel better to like eat the healthy stuff and work out and do that stuff and then have the dessert after? It always is. Delaying gratification is huge. Building up the habit of doing what's good for you and what's good for the planet long term rather than what's easy, convenient, and comfortable. The next thing is developing valuable skills that can help the world. You know, like all these things that I've been learning over the years are paying off for me now. I've been busier than ever with coaching people and mentoring and marketing and graphic design and making beats for people and audio engineering and all these things and making a podcast and all this, everything that's paying me now, like all my income comes because I developed valuable skills and I continue to invest in myself developing these skills. I don't expect myself to be good at anything. I just expect myself to continually be like improving in all areas and developing skills that can benefit other humans. The next thing on my list is do what I love every day, even if it doesn't pay the bills, even if it doesn't logically make sense. I don't care. I'm not going to let a day of my life slip away from me without doing what I love. So if you love playing guitar, if you love painting, if you love taking photos, like do that every day, you know, and maybe you don't have to do it every single day, but like as often as possible. Like we could die at any moment. I want to like literally live every day like it's my last. So like even if I'm not going to make money off music that day and there's bills that I need to pay like tomorrow or that I already should have paid or something like that, I'm still going to take some time out to do some music because that's what I love, you know? And it's like, life's too short to not do what we love. And it raises your vibration and puts you on a higher frequency. Another thing is just listening to feel-good music, having random dance parties, and just bumping your favorite tunes more often. Obviously, that just feels good and it's fun. I get caught up sometimes always listening to self-development content, and I forget how nice it is to just jam some music. Another thing is attending workshops, seminars, concerts, retreats, and any events that will put me around the right people, giving me a chance to build a network with people I want to be around so I can build up my soul tribe and learn and grow and be on the right path by attending these events rather than being a hermit, you know, stuck in my house all the time. Like that's not good for anyone's health. We need that human connection and we need to get around new people and new ideas, and going to workshops and seminars and retreats and concerts and stuff is a beautiful way to do that. Another thing on my list, I already mentioned this, using non-toxic cleaning supplies and just being more organic and less chemicals and less, I mean, everything's chemicals, but less like synthetic chemicals and harmful chemicals, I should say, and more natural stuff on all levels of life. Even like the clothes you wear, I'm trying to like switch to all organic clothing and all organic bed sheets and everything like that. Picking up trash, volunteering for community projects, doing things that show you take pride in the planet and the environment. Even if you just like, just go pick up a few pieces of trash when you're in the mountains, and it's gonna raise your frequency and put you in alignment with the universe and in the flow of the magic. And it's just a good ass thing to do. Another thing is becoming a more conscious consumer. We vote with our dollar. You gotta question your goods, who makes them, how they're distributed. If anyone gets fucked over in the process of your goods getting to you, then you're ultimately responsible for that. We need to take 100% responsibility. It's not just, oh, well, it's easier. Oh, I will when I have the money. It's like, no, we all need to step our game up. I'm eventually going to be going zero waste. I'm working on that right now. I'm nowhere near it right now. Still have a lot of programming and bad habits when it comes to being an unconscious consumer and going with what's cheap and convenient and whatever rather than what's good for the environment. So, like, I'm doing things that sometimes they might be a little bit harder on me, but it's better for the environment and I care about this place, so I gotta do it. And it's really not harder on you if you really think about it. It's just like sometimes it seems harder, but you're just relearning a new way of life. So like, you know, I got glass straws now instead of plastic straws for my smoothies, and I don't, you know, like I used to buy like these big packs of plastic straws and put them in a smoothie every day, and like that's very bad for the environment. So like It's just about making small incremental steps. It's not about judging yourself or being perfect or being on some high horse. And a lot of the people that care about this stuff the most are actually hurting people the most because they come across so judgmental and so, what is the word? Pretentious and, I'm trying to think of the word, self-righteous. And it turns people off to it. So it's like, let's just love each other and encourage each other more. Like, hey, you got you just went and invested in like an aluminum straw or a glass straw or something like that instead of plastic. Like, that's awesome. Gangster. You just went and bought a refillable water bottle. Fuck yeah. Good job, homie. Like, let's boost each other up and give each other, rather than like, you're still using plastic. That's bad for the environment. Like, you're going to make people feel bad, and people don't, then they don't even want to be, and then it turns them off from this whole energy. So we all need to become more conscious consumers, but we're going to do that through love and compassion, not through judgment and criticism. But like positive peer pressure. One of the last things here is prioritizing quality sleep. It's not about how much you get, it's about the quality of it. So invest some time in learning about how to improve your sleep. Put your phone on night shift, get some blue blocker glasses if you need to. Switch from social media to reading a physical book for the last hour of the day. Get out in the sunlight. Stay hydrated. Get the right vitamins and nutrients in your diet. Don't be eating too late. Don't be having things like chocolate or sugar or caffeine late in the day. Do different journaling practices and meditations and use sound healing. Anything that you can do to improve your quality of sleep, that's 1/3 of your life, and sometimes more. So that's where you heal and recharge and regenerate, and it's one of the most important parts of life. So you owe it to yourself to start learning about sleep, listening to podcasts and YouTube videos about how to improve your sleep. Just doing anything you can to improve your sleep in healthy, natural ways, and your whole life is going to get better. Another one is master your breath. I've been working on that. I feel like I've been out of breath this entire podcast because I've been just like talking so fast. I started talking to these and I'm like, whoa, this is going to take a minute. This is going to be a long episode to get through all these. This is probably like a lot of episodes kind of mashed into one. Obviously, each of these topics could be a whole episode. So I'm just like, let me rush through all these. Mellow out, taking a little sip of my rasa and just chill, take a breath. Feels good to just breathe for a second. Even as that, I'm like, hey, I gotta hurry up. I'm recording a podcast right now. I just can't have this big blank space. But it's like, I just gotta be comfortable with that blank space and become more mindful of my breath. And the more breath work I do, the healthier and happier I feel. Breath work can change all the chemistry in your body and release your anxiety and your depression and help boost your health and every level of your life. So master your breathing. Another thing that's on my list is sending love to strangers. It's kind of like the random acts of kindness, but I just every morning put my hand on my heart and just look out at cars as they drive by, and I just send them good vibes. I just say, I love you, I bless you, thank you. I picture waves of energy and rainbows like coming into their car or into their house and just blessing them. And I picture them feeling happy and them dancing around with joy and them smiling and them feeling good. And I just send random vibes to random strangers for no reason, just to spread love, and it feels great. Another thing on my list is hypnosis. I think I talked about that on a previous episode. We could probably do a full episode on hypnosis and how powerful that is. Another thing is float tanks. Float tanks are the best. Infrared saunas are awesome. IV drips, cryotherapy. A lot of these things are getting massages, getting energy work done. A lot of these things can just massively boost your vibration, and you don't really have to do anything. You can just pay to go to a place and just sit there and let it boost your vibe, and it's super cool. So another thing is just maintaining perspectives. You're doing so good. We're so blessed. We're doing so much better than the majority of the planet. There's like 4 billion people that don't even have clean sanitation, that are getting sick because they can't, they're children are playing in feces or they don't have clean water and stuff like that. So like, and I'm not saying that to make anyone feel bad. I'm saying that to be like, yo, we're doing great. We might look at our neighbors that drive the Teslas and have the nice car, or the nice houses, and look at our lives and feel like we're just doing so shitty compared to everyone. But we got to maintain perspective. We're doing great. If you're listening to this podcast, like, you're doing all right. You're still here. You've made it through some hard times, and you're going to make it through whatever else comes your way. You're going to take it one moment at a time, and your life's just going to keep getting better and better, you know, like, this universe is huge. There's infinite numbers of planets and galaxies, and life is just so much bigger than we realize. So we get so caught up in these tiny little bubbles of existence, and we just got to maintain perspective and remember, like, it's bigger than we realize. And, you know, we're blessed to even exist. We're not entitled to anything. Like, expectations and attachments are really a form of entitlement. We were never owed anything. We're just lucky to ever have even been conscious of existing ever for any brief millisecond. So that's just so important to maintain perspective and realize, you know what? In the grand scheme of the universal energy and all existence, everything is fine. It's all good, and we're doing great, and we're blessed. The last thing that I wrote down on this list, because this is just kind of like a random brainstorm that as I got out of meditation, so that none of this stuff is in any particular order, and there's also a lot more things I could add, but it's just focusing on who you can serve, shining that light on who you can serve instead of your own problems, and focusing on what's in it for you, and having that we versus a me mentality. Like, the we instead of me is so valuable. Like, we're all in this together. Who can we serve? Who can we help? Rather than just always feel, how am I going to pay rent? What am I going to eat today? What am I going to do this? Oh, when is this going to happen for me? Am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to do that? And me. Like, we got to switch that to we. Who can we serve? Focus on your blessings and who you can serve. So that's like a super long-winded episode where I was practically out of breath, ranting and going fast the whole time. And if there's anything that I talked about today that you want me to go super in depth on, I would love to. I could pretty much do an entire episode on every single thing I just mentioned. So that was like 50 something things. But I really feel like the key to living an amazing life is just focusing on raising your vibration rather than focusing on all the things that you think you want. When you focus on, okay, once I get that car, or once I get that house, or then I'll be happy, or once I get that partner, it's like we're always putting our happiness in the future, and that's backwards, and we're never able to obtain it because we're always thinking we'll be happy when, or we'll be successful when, or our life will be better when this happens, or when this changes, and it's like all the power is inside of us. Everything that we want is already inside of us, so we need to tap into that internal power instead of being attached to all these desires, and just realize, like, everything's perfect the way it is. Let go, detach, trust. We're so beautiful, and if we just focus on raising our vibration and growing, and then we're in alignment with the universe that's constantly expanding and growing and serving more and more, and then all our desires and stuff end up coming to us anyway a lot easier, and we manifest all our dream life just like naturally as a byproduct of raising our vibration. So instead of focusing on getting that money or getting that house or this and that, focus on doing all the things that I just mentioned, and all the stuff you wanted will just come to you really naturally. So I hope this episode helps. If you got inspired by this, shoot me a DM. Let me know you listened to this particular episode. Feel free to hit me up if you have anything that you want me to talk about or anything that you could use some help on. I'm here for you. I got a bunch of new music dropping soon. I've been working on this new album that's coming out really dope, and I'm really excited for all the beautiful things that are coming into fruition. I just started doing marketing for a nonprofit permaculture company, and I just started doing I'm starting up a hip-hop program, like after-school hip-hop program for kids through the state. That's like the Salt Lake Academy of Music, and I'm going to be the hip-hop program director for that. So got a lot of beautiful things coming into fruition, and I'm going to keep making these podcasts as often as I can, and just keep making the YouTube videos and spreading the vibes and spreading the love as much as I can whenever I feel inspired. So I really appreciate you tuning in. I really appreciate you sharing this. It helps so much, whether you're liking it, dropping a comment, leaving a review, shooting me a message, throwing some money on the Patreon, streaming my music, anything you're doing that's engaging with me and my content. It's helping my life, and it's helping the life of everyone that I'm trying to help. Where you're helping directly spread the message and spread the positive energy and impact more lives. So it means the world to me. This is my soul's purpose, and I'm living it out, and I feel so grateful for you to be part of this journey and just be in my tribe. So I love you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world. Definitely shoot me a message if you're listening, especially if you listen this far in. Like, you're a real one. So I love you. I hope you just have the most extraordinary rest of your day and the most amazing rest of your week. And I hope you know, like, the best is yet to come. The best days of your life haven't even happened yet. There's just so many quantum possibilities and magical opportunities that are going to unfold for you as you continue to raise your vibration. So, peace and blessings. Love you so much. I will see you very soon. Bless.